Greetings, fellow cycling enthusiasts. This is Josh.
Brian.
And Thomas.
We're happy to have you along for the ride of episode 6
Yeah.
of Heritage Cycles Podcast. So saddle up and let's get rolling.
We are proud to announce that we have an official beer sponsor of the podcast. It is the Grove City Brewing Company.
Yes.
And they are right across the street. They are awesome. Their food is awesome. We are drinking their beer right now.
Yep, brewed right here in town.
In the heart of downtown Grove City, Ohio.
The beautiful town it is. Let's have a cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Oh, yeah.
I am drinking the Von Wheat, brewed by brewmaster Trevor himself. Of course, they all are, but shout out to him for coming through.
This one was brewed by a
she actually got to brew it?
Server. Yeah,
Oh,
or
cool.
a bartender, right?
I'm not
Bartender?
sure if she brewed it.
Either she brewed it or it was her idea. We don't know.
She had something to do with it.
Yeah.
This one's called B. Webb's. It's a blonde stout,
B. Webb's Blonde Stout.
and it's pretty good. Even though it's 9 o'clock in the morning and our taste buds haven't quite developed for the day yet.
Yeah.
This is strange.
They might not make it there either.
We normally record on
Maybe
Monday
To
Monday
fully
evenings.
development.
Oh yeah, yeah. Not because of this.
We normally record on Monday evenings, but due to scheduling conflicts, here we are Saturday morning trying to get this in before the shop opens in 1 hour from now.
Right.
So,
Yeah. So we better move along.
yeah.
But it is strange. We normally, this isn't our normal practice to drink at 9 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday morning.
It's also strange because there's snow on the ground.
Feels
in
good to me.
April.
Yeah, that was a bummer this morning.
One other new thing to announce here. We're gonna try a little contest. See if anybody's actually listening or not. We're gonna you'll hear this random horn sound that sounds like this. When you hear that later on, sometime in the podcast,
I think I just heard it.
take down the time, email us the time. We'll pick someone and send them a Heritage Cycles water bottle and a podcast sticker. So hopefully someone does that. That'll be fun.
That would be fun.
All right, so
I'm doing it.
today's show is all about what you wearing.
Yeah.
It's about fashion.
Nah, not fashion. Function over fashion.
Function over fashion. But all cycling clothes is all fashionable.
They
Bright
can
colors
be,
and,
sure.
and super tight. I like it.
Do you? Well, okay. If that's your thing.
Okay.
But yeah, I think mainly we're going to be concentrating on the clothing that you wear in different elements, different conditions, to help keep you comfortable while you're riding your bike. Because I think people like to be comfortable. Brian, you like to be comfortable?
That's my favorite thing, to be comfortable.
Thomas,
No.
comfortable?
No.
Oh, okay.
I like being uncomfortable. It's the best.
We'll go over there then, and don't listen, because we're going to talk about being comfortable this time. Comfortable is my favorite too, Brian.
That's good to know.
Yeah. So let's get comfortable.
All right. A little more beer.
Yeah. Over the years, and I'm sure Thomas too,
Yeah, for sure.
have developed kind of an elaborate system of what clothes to wear on any particular condition, or how it depends on the weather, the temperature outside, if it's raining, if it's how long I'm going to ride, the amount of exertion, I guess, I'm going to put out. Does that make sense?
Good.
Could make sense. You're no help.
I will be no help on this episode. I'm a fair weather rider, so I am just along for the ride today.
Well, you can learn something then, maybe,
Yeah.
and not just be
Gym
fair weather.
shorts and a t-shirt is my riding gear.
Well, we'll get to that. There's a long list of gear that I've gathered throughout the years, and it's just I've just honed it down to know exactly what to wear in any given day. What would be the best kind of get up to wear and be comfortable.
Keyword for the day.
Comfort. That's the word of the day.
Word of the day.
Like Pee Wee, everybody scream when somebody says comfort. It should be a drinking game. You guys do a drinking game at home. Every time I say comfort, take a drink.
Take a drink. Yeah, that's good. Make sure it's hard liquor,
Yes.
so that way you'll laugh by the time the show's over.
And write a good review at the end.
All right, so let's get it going, man. We got, shop's going to open up. We got to have a shop full
Here
of
we go.
snowboarders.
So it's probably best if we break it down into categories based on different conditions. So we'll start with pleasant conditions
Yeah.
and work our way down to unpleasant. Which, if you follow, none of it's going to be unpleasant. Hopefully,
That's why you're telling them what to wear, so it's not unpleasant.
yeah, that's what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just remembered.
Yeah, your
just
pleasant
remembered.
to unpleasant list is kind of backwards from mine.
Is it?
Yeah.
72 degrees is unpleasant for you?
I wouldn't say that. The next step.
Well, yeah, hot is pleasant for me too. But I'm just thinking of, from what I hear from our customers and general public, a lot of people like 72 degrees over 85 to 100 degrees.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
I kind of like the cold over the hot, though.
Okay.
That's what I was
We'll get to you.
Yeah, that's not what you said last month, but whatever.
That's true.
All right, let's go. Okay, so first chunk of this rigmarole is 72 degrees, partly sunny, no wind, birds singing, absolutely beautiful outside. You just want to be outside. If you're going out for just an easy ride, that's one thing. So if you're just going to go out for a leisurely ride around the park or go get ice cream or whatever, you're just going to take it easy. Just like you're going to go for a little walk with your dog or something. You just wear whatever. Just wear whatever you normally wear outside, and you'll be just fine. You don't have to get any special kind of clothing or anything. Just wear sweatpants, jeans, t-shirt, whatever you normally. So we'll talk about if you're going on a road ride for fitness purposes, or you're going to be riding, a little bit faster. You're going to push yourself, probably work up a sweat. That's another story. So same temperature. 72 degrees outside, beautiful outside, but you're probably going to want to roll with something as if you were going to go work out at the gym.
Yeah, kind of like Brian was saying, gym shorts and a t-shirt.
Right.
Yeah.
Moisture wicking.
Moisture wicking, yeah. Lightweight, yeah, because you're going to be increasing your body temperature. You want to be comfortable, so you're going to start sweating, and then you want that sweat to evaporate
Keep going.
and keep you cool.
All right, so yeah, if it's hot, wear some loose clothes that can breathe so you don't sweat to death.
Yep. Or, cycling clothes too, like Lycra that you see all these cyclists wearing. That'll work just fine too during this, for this temperature range. And the benefit of cycling clothes isn't just to look swell. It's they have a function. So cycling shorts are tight fitting. They're also moisture wicking.
Prevent chafing.
Yeah. And then they usually have a padded bum.
Monkey butt.
Yeah. So makes your butt look a little bit bigger, but that's okay. You're sitting on a seat. Who cares?
And you get to use chamois butter.
Yeah. But yeah, the shorts do come with a chamois, which is a padded rear end for your comfort purposes. So that's nice. Ideal for new cyclists for sure, because it's not going to be comfortable to you right away. Bike saddles aren't going to be friendly to you right off the bat. So cycling clothes are beneficial. Cycling jerseys are nice. Also usually tight fitting.
Cut down on the drag.
Yeah. It makes you more aero.
Less work.
They have these convenient little pockets on the back usually.
Yeah.
You can put little snacks in, or you could even put in a small pet.
Like a gerbil.
Ferret.
Gecko.
What about when it's really hot, though?
When it's really hot.
What do you do?
Yeah. So I usually say like 85 to 100 is pretty toasty. Around here it's humid. But depending on where you're at for that temperature range, you might have slightly different conditions. But here it's very humid. So you want very light moisture wicking clothing again. I would say most definitely wear light moisture wicking clothing. Maybe even take off your shirt if you want.
Please do.
Definitely break out the sunscreen too.
Yeah,
I've
sunscreen.
turned
That's
into
a
a
good one.
lobster a few times
Yeah.
over the summer.
Yep.
It doesn't feel like you're baking because you're moving and it's windy and stuff, but when you're done, you'll be in a world of hurt.
Yep.
Just toasted.
Yeah, that's a good point. Sunscreen on your nose and your cheeks and your arms and your knees and what
Knees.
other body parts.
Definitely the back of your neck.
Yeah, back of your neck. That's a good one.
The more we go down in temperature, the less people are going to have experience.
Right. Yeah, this is where you kind of draw the line here.
Yeah.
Like 50 to 60 degrees.
Yeah, 40. I could do 40 sometimes if I had to.
You just don't have the gear. And that's the issue.
I have the gear for the 40. I have a pair of pants, cycling pants, and jacket and stuff. But yeah, I just.
Well, the hardest part
Perfect
is
weather.
getting out there. When there's inclement weather, the hardest part is getting started. Like putting on your gear and saying like, oh, you know, you look out the window, it might be a little cold, or check the weather. And the hardest part is just making the first step to go out and do it. After you're out there, I'm just like, oh yeah, this isn't bad at all. And then once you learn that, then, you know, it doesn't get so bad. 50 to 60 degrees, you might want to have long sleeves and long pants. Something that's handy for this temperature range is arm warmers and leg warmers. I guess I used to wear those when I rode a lot more often, or when I commuted. You can get like thermal ones, or you can get really thin ones, but they're handy because if you start out in the morning, say it's 50 degrees, and then you know the temperature is going to rise outside another 5 degrees, or as you warm up, as you ride, because you're going to generate your own body heat, you might want to take one of those layers off. And arm warmers are very handy because you can just peel them right off as you're riding and stuff them in your back pocket with your gecko.
Similar to that, you can always roll up pant legs and sleeves as well.
Right.
Just be careful where you're at when you're rolling up pant legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cyclists get a pass because you can roll up your right pant leg anyway, because so you don't get
peg leg that. Cardigans are good for that temperature too.
Oh yeah, I'm known for the cardigan. I'm wearing one right now.
Won't you be my neighbor?
It has holes in it. I've worn it so much. Cardigans are awesome for this temperature range because they're fashionable. Stop smiling.
Fashionista.
You got to get the ones with the patches on the elbow though.
Yeah, or this will happen. See that, YouTube?
That's not your elbow.
Well, it used to be.
Back when I was a wee baby.
But yeah, I've had this one is pretty worn out. But yeah, I usually go through a cardigan or so per year. Yeah, those are handy if you can find a wool sweater, like a wool jersey. Wool jerseys tend to be pretty pricey, but they're very nice because they're better at wicking moisture than any of the, you know,
polymer,
super technical, stuff that they sell at, Dick's or whatever, all the sporting clothing. Wool is way better in my opinion than any of that stuff. So yeah, wool socks at this point. You're going to just get some wool socks, because if you're going to be driving or riding, any temperature really, wool socks are beneficial. So even in the summertime, if you get some thin wool socks, those are going to be great for wicking moisture, keeping your feet dry. And then as it gets colder, still going to keep your feet dry, and that will prevent your feet from getting colder because it wicks all your sweat away. That's the one I can't stress enough. Get some wool socks if you're going to be riding, especially in cold weather. Once I learned that, I never went back to cotton.
All right, so now it's getting colder.
Okay.
Right now outside it's like 30 degrees. So we'll talk about 40 to 50 degrees first, I guess.
Yeah. So in dry conditions, so we're going to start breaking things up because, we've kind of missed on rainy conditions through the warmer temperatures. And if it's warmer, just expect to get wet if it's raining. It's not so bad. It's just take a change of clothes with you if you're going to work, or just expect to be wet. Yeah. And you can only get so wet, and then you just kind of deal with it, and it's not so bad.
Yeah, it honestly feels great.
Yeah, it does, especially when it's warmer. It's really nice. And your bike seems to be like nice and quiet and just roll real smooth. I don't know. I like riding in the rain.
A lot less people out. It's just kind of a blissful ride in the rain.
It is. It's really nice. But when it gets a little bit colder, you might get into some discomfort. So if it's like 40 to 50 degrees, starts raining, might want a rain jacket or maybe even rain pants. But just note that stuff, it'll say, you can look through all kinds of stuff. It'll say it's breathable and rainproof. That's kind of a gimmick. That's not going to be true. It's not going to to an extent, it'll let some.
Might be rain and moisture resistant, not necessarily proof.
That's true. You're not really going to stay dry either way. There's a weird trade-off. So if you block all the rain with gear, you're going to sweat. So you just kind of have to choose whether you want to be wet with rain or wet with sweat. So, but at 40 degrees, it's probably a good idea just to get like really lightweight rain jacket or like a windbreaker type thing. That's what you wear, right? Like a windbreaker?
Yeah, something that dries really fast.
Right.
That's a good point. Something that dries fast.
Yeah. And that's also, moisture wicking materials. 40 to 50 degrees in dry conditions, you're going to want to wear some layers. And you're kind of usually rule of thumb is to start out kind of chilly, and that way you can regulate your body temperature by riding a little bit harder, or your body's naturally gonna heat up, and then under these layers you're gonna hold in that heat. On the other side, if you get a little bit warm, you can just kind of slow down a little bit and maybe unzip your jacket and cool down and get some air circulation going. So you want to wear layers, moisture wicking layers, maybe a mid-weight jacket. I have this cycling jacket that I've had for like 5 or 6 years. It's mid-weight, and it's designed specifically for riding in cold weather, and it's thicker in the front, so it blocks some wind, and then it's really thin on the back, so it'll allow you to release body heat.
Yeah, it probably has a few vented areas.
It doesn't actually. It's like the whole back is almost vented. It's
okay.
It's like a real thin. You can almost see through the back.
Right.
So it blocks the wind in the front where all the wind is going to be, and then it releases. It's a really great jacket. It's a Bontrager. I had it when I used to work at a Trek shop. I've had it like 5 or 6 years. So we'll go into that later. Like, you want to wear long pants, probably maybe some cycling pants, because they're kind of the same material as the midweight jackets are. They're a little bit moisture wicking, but still they have a thickness to them that are going to keep you warm.
My cycling pants are pretty much just like your jacket.
Are they?
They're almost leather-like, fake looking in the front, and then thin and stretchy in the back.
Right.
This year, I invested in some pants from Outdoor Research. They're really thin. I've been wearing them in this kind of temperature range. Just roll them up when I get hot and everything like that. They dry super fast. Water rolls right off of them in a light rain.
But you wear them in different temperature ranges.
Yeah, pretty much all temperatures.
Yeah, so they're thin enough that you can wear them when it's warm out.
Right.
And you can just roll them up, and then when it's cold out, you just put another layer on underneath.
Yep,
right?
just like a thin pair of tights or...
So the brand is Outdoor Research?
Yeah.
And the model or whatever, because all these clothing, they have models, right, for these?
Yeah, it's the Feroci collection.
Feroci.
Yeah, they're nice. You can pick those up. Your bike shop should be able to order them.
Yep.
If you can't afford a Ferrari, you can probably afford some Feroci.
There you go. This episode was brought to you by
Feroci.
Ferrari. At that range, 40 to 50 degrees, you're also going to be wanting to probably cover your ears, cover your eyes. You can even you can just get your cycling glasses, but you can also just get sunglasses if you're riding in the sun, or
Safety glasses.
Safety glasses work fine. That's what I use. I get maybe every couple of years I buy a handful of safety glasses from the hardware store for $1 and just throw them all around my house so I know where to find so I can find them, and around the shop. And they're good when you're using power tools. So yeah, glasses are good.
Glommets are great for this temperature range too.
What's a glommet?
Like a half glove, half mitten thing.
Yeah,
like
Thomas is weird. His hands, he can ride in cold weather without covering his fingers. I can't do that.
It's magic.
But yeah, I have to have full finger gloves pretty much if it gets colder than 60 degrees. My hands are cold right now. I'm just talking about it.
My hands are always cold, but I don't feel it.
Yeah, you have good circulation or something. But yeah, so yeah, this is going to be different for everybody. We're just kind of giving you a general idea of what we wear in these conditions. So, there's different people that do different things. Yeah, you want something that covers your ears, maybe a hat, especially if you have like a really ventilated helmet. You probably want something to cover the top of your dome.
On the ventilated helmet, some helmets come with a winter kit you can purchase through a bike shop as well.
Yeah,
and
that's
make
true.
them a little bit more warm, so you don't have to slide a hat underneath your helmet.
Yep, we have what's our helmet? We have the same helmet.
Giro Sutton, I think.
Sutton, yeah. And you can get an extra winter kit that has ear covers and a mesh top that you can line the helmet with, and that's helpful for winter times.
Yeah, covers up the vents.
Yeah, I tended not to use mine this year though. I just kind of used my old system of like a headband. I think I got a Pearl Izumi headband that just covers my ears, and that worked just fine all winter long. Yeah. So we're getting colder now. Brian's just looking off into space. He's not even paying attention. He's like, "Oh, this doesn't apply to me, so I'm not even going to pay attention."
Brian, ride your bike in the cold.
So now we're getting cold. 30 to 40 degrees. This is all Fahrenheit, by the way. It's cold out. That's touching on freezing, right? 32 degrees Fahrenheit's freezing. So that's when my comfort level starts to change. I don't like being cold. What I suggest is a thermal layer mid-weight jacket, insulated gloves, glasses, hat, ear covers, like a buff or a light ski mask. I wear this buff thing. It's I guess the company's made by Buff, or that's the company name, right?
It's basically just a face sleeve.
Yeah, and it's made of really light wool, so you can breathe through it. And you can just keep it around your neck if you're warm, or if the wind's blowing and your face starts getting cold, you can't grow a beard like I can't. You just pull it over your face, and it's quite wonderful. I wear it actually like all winter long, and
never wash it.
And I never wash it.
Yeah, I just recently lost mine, and I've
did?
been pretty sad.
Yeah, dude, you get addicted to it. Sometimes I'll go to bed and I realize I still have it around my neck.
You start scratching your neck when it's not there.
Yeah, your neck just feels really cold.
I need a buff fix.
I have a funny story. Sorry, Brian. I know you hate me. There was a tornado last week, and
this week.
This week there was a tornado, and power went out for half a day at my house, and I had to take out the generator to plug into the sump pump. So I had like gas cans and stuff, and the generator in my garage, and I was like tripping over it when I got in my garage last night. And I was just like, why haven't I put that stuff away yet? So I grabbed the gas can and I put it where it goes, up on a high shelf, and there must have been some gas on the top of the can.
Yeah.
And it spilled right on my face.
Perfect.
And it was terrible. And it like soaked down into my buff. And that was the worst part about it. If anybody wants to smell, this is a Smell-O-Vision podcast, right?
Is, yes.
Yeah.
4D.
Yeah, scratch your screen or your headphone. You probably want some thermal toe covers, or some kind of toe covers at least. Or you can just wear your boots if you have flat pedals. Or there is also cycling pedals, cycling boots that are like super nice, and you'll pay for it too. But yeah, those are really nice. They're heavy, but they'll keep your feet nice and toasty and dry. Gaiters are kind of a cool thing too. They kind of strap around the top part of your shoe and up your shin. They keep your pant legs dry and warm, and also keeps your pant leg from flapping into your chain. Yeah, those are handy to have around. Wet conditions. Yeah, all of the above, everything that we just talked about, plus maybe a light rain jacket to go over top of that, just so you can layer and unlayer. You should probably gotten some fenders at this point.
Yeah, you're definitely not going to want to get wet at this point.
Yeah,
at all.
Yeah, if you get wet, you don't want to get wet with water, nor do you want to get wet with sweat at this point, because you start getting into dangerous territory. If you have a breakdown, or you have to stop for some reason and you're stuck outside, then you turn into a cycle. And if you have 5 friends with you, you'll be 6
cyclicals.
This is where most people, I would think, would not go out.
Just don't ride. End of segment.
Oh, come on.
Watch out for ice and polar bears.
Rogue penguins.
Yeah.
We're friends with the polar bears, Brian.
Yeah. We are. We're kind of sick of cold weather, so as you can tell, we don't even want to talk about this. It's mid-April here today, and it's snowing outside, and we're sick of it. We've been riding, but we just want to ride with other people. Everybody else?
Yeah. Tired of riding solo.
Right. Come on, guys. Come outside.
So just add more layers.
Yeah. Add more layers.
It's all about the layers when it's cold.
Right.
Keyword.
But you want wicking materials again, and then you can just mix and match different layers. So I would say at least a wicking layer, like maybe the same layer you were wearing, when it was warmer, but then put a thermal layer on top of that, and then maybe a mid-weight jacket. And then even if you're still a little chilly, maybe a windbreaker on top of that.
Tuck that wicking layer in.
Yeah,
too.
for real.
Keep the wind out of your shirt.
Yeah, it'll go right up there, and woo! That's what it's like. Just like that.
Just like it.
It's a noise adaptation to the feeling.
Right. Yeah, definitely want just everything that we said already, for colder weather. Cover your ears. You can even get like a heavier ski mask. Ski goggles work great. You can get cycling specific ones that they're a little bit better fitted to fit, under your helmet.
More range of vision too on the cycling ones, I feel like.
For sure.
And peripherals.
And with glasses at this point, it gets a little tough if you have a face cover and regular glasses, because as you breathe heavily, your breath kind of just gets channeled right up into the inside of your glasses and fogs them up, which you probably want to see while you're riding a bicycle.
Nope.
Okay, don't see that. Use your sonar. All right. So heavier gloves, maybe a couple layers of gloves. I wear like these lobster mitts, Planet Bike. Borealis.
Mhm.
Borealis is the name of them. Those work great. They come with a liner in them. Or bar mitts are nice too. There's kind of funny looking things that you put over your bars. They're like
Neoprene.
neoprene. There you go. Yeah. Another word of the day.
Neopets.
Those are nice. You just kind of keep them semi-permanently on your handlebars, and they just block the wind and keep your hands insulated.
That's nice of them.
It is nice of them. They're so nice. All this gear is just so nice.
I stick to the glommets.
Yeah, well,
I put the mitt part on.
yeah. So
Finally.
again, Thomas is a weirdo with super hot fingies. Try not to overheat here because you get a flat tire or a breakdown. And you're all sweaty. It's going to be bad news if you get all sweaty and you break down. So for your pants, you want to wear a thermal pant and maybe an outer layer like the Outdoor Research pants that Thomas mentioned earlier. Those seem to work great. I'll probably get some next year.
Yeah. Throw some tights under those bad boys when it's cold. And you feel like you're wearing sweatpants all day.
Yeah. And nobody even knows.
Nope.
Nobody's like, oh, that.
Those are nice khaki pants you got.
Right.
You can tell by the look on your face.
Right. They're winking at you as you ride by. So in wet conditions, this is kind of a benefit for this temperature because it's probably snowing at this point, which, snow isn't going to get the top part of you so wet, but it does leave the ground kind of soggy and wet. So definitely you want some fenders at this point if you're riding in these conditions, or all that wet, slushy, salty crap is going to splash up on you and your bike. You don't want that crap on either of you.
Say goodbye to your bearings.
Right. Or just plan on heavy cleaning your bike every day when you get home. So anything under that is like 20 degrees and under, which I generally don't go on many rides. I'll ride to work, but I only have half a mile to go, so that's no big deal. I can just wear a heavy coat and boots and just cruise on down here. And by the time I get cold, I'm already here. But Thomas rides no matter what, pretty much, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Because I kind of have to.
But yeah, you really want to just layer up like you're just going to go sledding with your kids or something. Maybe not snow pants, but a full-on coat, ski
You're
mask.
probably not going to
the
go out
whole
for a
nine.
long ride in this kind of weather, so it's probably. I don't know. I don't see why anyone would do this to themselves.
Well, we do for bike night and stuff.
Yeah. This
But
point.
We only go like 5 miles or something those nights, don't you?
Yeah, you're normally wearing
always.
too many clothes to want to move at this point.
Yeah, and then you're going to be generating enough heat to where you're just going to get sweaty under all those clothes. So yeah,
Then you got a week's worth of laundry in one day.
yeah, that's true. And it takes you 30 minutes to get all that crap on and then back off when you get home.
It's even worse taking it off when it's sweaty and stuck to you.
yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah.
hey, still try it. Let's try it out. We still do it, even though it's kind of a pain, but
No pain. It's all fun.
it's all gain. All right.
There you have it.
There you have it. There you have all of our ramblings on clothing. Hopefully we helped a little bit.
If you're a seasoned cyclist, maybe we reminded you that you need that gear. The best time to buy, obviously, the cold gear is in the warm months because all those shops have them on sale, what they have left over. And
That's true.
And on the opposite side of that, the best time to get like shorts and jerseys and stuff is in the winter months when they're on sale, and then you can put yourself together some these different temperature ranges. Put you together a couple kits pretty cheap if you just buy in the off season, and then be good to go.
Yep. And you're helping out the shop in that,
Get rid of it,
regard. Get rid of their old stock. And yeah, don't let all this discourage you, like thinking that you have to buy all this new gear if you're becoming a cyclist. This is all this stuff I've kind of gathered through a long period of time. Like I said, my jacket I've had for 5 or 6 years. I've had cycling shoes for 3 to 4 years. I might go through a pair of toe covers, which are cheap, every 1 or 2 years. But my gloves, those lobster claw gloves that I wear, I've had those for years and years. They're just about done, but I've had them for 4 or 5 years at least, and I've even shoveled snow in them, and all kinds of stuff. So. This stuff is generally made really nice, and it will last you a long time. So you can collect it over years, a long period of time, and just have it at your disposal when you need it. And another thing I want to mention about riding in inclement weather is Thomas and I get this a lot because people will see us in all this gear and we're riding and working back and forth, and we're always like, "Oh, you must be so hardcore." Or,
You're nuts.
Yeah, you're nuts. You're riding out in that crap. Or,
I'm the one saying that.
Yeah, Brian's usually the one saying that, and honestly, personally, I'm really a pansy when it comes to being cold. Like I'm really uncomfortable being cold.
Same.
And if I if I was cold while I was out there, I just probably wouldn't do it. If I couldn't figure out a good system, then I would just drive a car like everybody else. These things really do help with your comfort level, and it really just takes getting out there and trying out a little bit, trying out some gear, and figuring out what works best for you.
All right, so next up, we're going to do a quick Q&A. Hopefully these end up coming from you guys. Right now, we're just taking real common questions we get at the shop that are fairly easy to answer that, some people just might not know. Obviously, they don't because they're always asking. But you'll find if you don't ride all the time, every time you go to ride your bike, you have to put air in your tires.
Yeah.
So everyone's always thinking they need new tubes, but actually, it's quite common to always have to put air in your tires. Every few weeks at least. Especially the skinnier the tire, the more pressure there is, the more likely it's going to escape.
More pressure, low volume. That equals losing air faster. So it's not like your car tire. I always tell people, you put 35 psi in your Camry. Maybe what do people do for their car? I don't drive. I don't know.
Yeah,
like
about right.
Once every couple of years, or once every couple of months, or something.
No, less than that.
Like once every 6 months.
Yeah,
something like that.
When the weather changes.
Seasonally,
when the light comes on in your car.
Yeah, with your bike,
when you hear your rim hitting the pavement.
And your bike, it's normal. If you pump it up and it's flat the next day, you need a tube. If you pump it up and it's flat in 2 weeks, you just need to put more air in it.
Right. Yeah.
That's the end of it.
People come in with, my tires keep going flat. And I always say, well, when's the last time you filled them up? And they'll just have this blank stare
96.
on their face. What do you mean? I have to have an air pump? But yeah, you do. So, yeah. And somebody, poor people that...
They want to buy tubes from us. They want to buy... you don't need to.
Well, and they've taken their bike out of the garage, loaded it up in their Camry, and then wheeled it in here. And then just because they could have just pumped up their tires most of the time. And sometimes I just pump them up and I'll say, well, we'll leave them here for a week or so. And if they go flat again, then we'll replace them and give you a call. If not, then we'll just come back and we'll charge you a lot of money for just the air.
Yep.
No, free air. Free air.
Free air hugs and high fives here.
Yep.
All right. So that's it. Yes, pump up your tire.
Air hugs?
Air hugs.
Or air and hugs.
We're giving them
air hugs over
the YouTubes right now. All right. We're gonna do a heritage homage section here. And Josh is gonna light up like the 4th of July right now because we're gonna talk about the penny farthing.
Woo.
He wants to put a penny farthing bike on everything possible. Luckily.
Like a print of one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Penny farthing bike on your car, on your Camry.
He got to work it in last year when we did when we brewed with the Grove City Brewing Company, which we're doing that again. So I'll put the logo for that up here. It's kind of cool.
Spoke.
The golden spoke. So basically the penny farthing came in the 1870 era, also called an ordinary for whatever that's worth, or high wheelers. They're more comfortable than the predecessors, but it required a lot more skill, so the popularity was very limited. You couldn't just hop on it and go. You needed to acquire the ability to ride one, per se.
You have to kind of climb up on it.
Yeah.
Basically had to be an acrobat.
Yeah, some would say. They were the first full metal machine to appear. Prior to that, the metallurgy was not advanced enough to produce small, strong, light parts. Pedals were attached. Of course, it was a single speed and all that good stuff. Solid rubber tires. But what was really nice is since the spokes were so long that it had a much smoother ride.
Is this when they came up with metal spokes? Like tension-based spokes?
It doesn't say. But I would imagine, even the pictures and stuff, they're all...
Okay. There's an interesting...
It's all metal.
Interesting timeline of when wheels kind of changed from being wooden, which the tension was pushing on the rim from the spoke, like a wagon wheel, and then eventually somebody came up with a metal spoke system to where you could tension the strength of the wheel by pulling from the hub. to the rim.
It says first all metal machine, so maybe this is when that was introduced. They also realized that the larger the front wheel, the further you could go on one rotation. So basically, people would buy the biggest wheel possible to fit their legs. And it was very popular with young men that were somewhat wealthy, as it required 6 months of pay on average to buy a penny farthing bicycle. Nice. And that's pretty much what they still run for now. There's like $1,000 for an old penny farthing bike.
Yeah, even remakes of them are pretty pricey.
Yeah. So the heyday was in the 80s, but you know, everything has a downfall, no pun intended. Because you were so high and your legs were literally under the handlebars. If you hit a rock, which I'm sure there was plenty of, or someone darted out in front of you and you hit something, you would go face first over the handlebars. That's where they actually came up with the term taking a header was back then. And it was in endo, yeah. And people, would
endo your life.
Actually, and the other interesting fact about this is the first machine to be called a bicycle.
Oh, okay. Well, that's new to me.
Yeah, boom. So
there you go, penny farthing. That's what those are. I mean,
obviously I'm going to put up a picture, but the huge wheel in the front that you sit on top of, basically, and then a little tiny trailing wheel behind.
Right. You've seen you've seen them at little pictures of them at Hobby Lobby, probably, or Cracker Barrel. Hanging
they're very the wall. and there's lots of art. So we'll do a quick Heritage Cycle showcase on a bike that we have here in the shop, and get you guys out of here. So today we're going to talk about our lovely, well, it used to be lovely, Univega until Josh messed it up.
I did not mess it up.
Took the tires off, took the drop bars off, and just made it poop.
Well, I put the drop bars on in the first place, so this is it's kind of a shop bike that we
all argue over.
Yeah, we can't quite sell it. We put a really big price tag on it so nobody buys it. It's a what is it, like Craigslist find?
I bought it off Craigslist.
Yeah, for like what, $50 or something.
So it is Brian's.
I think it was like $70.
No, the shop paid for it.
But we paid a little bit more for it just because it was so sexy. I mean, the Univega font alone is
it's
ridiculous.
Nice and pink. Yeah. We'll put pictures up, but it's a like mid '90s model Univega Alpine 503. It's a mountain bike. Nice steel frame, rigid fork. So it came to us. Somebody did some work to it. Someone kind of messed it up quite a bit.
Well, I wrecked it. I didn't help it.
Yeah, you wrecked it too. But as we got to looking at it, we started changing out a lot of things. We basically replaced the whole drivetrain, and tires, handlebars,
everything but the frame,
saddle, everything but the frame. Well, and the wheels are still good.
Yeah.
Brakes are still good too. Yeah, it's this cool mountain bike that it's a little big for us, but we all just kind of hop on it every once in a while. And
it's just nice to look at, even if you don't. I don't know what it is about that bike.
It's the best bike to ride circles around in the shop on.
It is. It sure is.
Big old fat tires.
You just got to hop on it every once in a while and just ride around the shop. But it's a cool mountain bike.
So we'll put a picture of it up here. If you're watching on YouTube, if not, you can search the hashtag Heritage Cycles Showcase.
Yeah.
You can see all the bikes that we're talking about, our personal bikes at the shop, some bikes that you guys have sent us. Hopefully we'll have those up there so you can show them off.
Cool, unique bikes that are that we showcase.
Yeah. And if you have any cool stories or anything like that, or a bike with some ridiculous specs, that's kind of what we're looking for to show off at the showcase there. So I think that's it.
Is it?
I think that's it. Check us out on YouTube if you aren't already. We do post full video of us sitting here having a good old time, making weird faces at Josh. Subscribe and all that YouTube lingo.
Yeah, you can check out our terrible microphone posture.
Yes. Email us at Heritage Cycles Podcast at Gmail. You can go directly to our Podbean site if you aren't found that yet at heritagecyclespodcast.podbean.com. We are also on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and supposedly on Spotify soon. Yes, It's been submitted. I thought it would be accepted by now, but it is not. But we will be, maybe by the time someone listens to this, on Spotify.
It's probably true, yeah. So thanks again to Grove City Brewing Company for supplying our drinks.
Thanks to Josh for supplying our knowledge.
Thank you
and
for
Thomas.
Thanking me.
His power.
Thanks to Thomas for contributing today.
Yeah.
Go me.
Yeah, look at Thomas.
I'm awake.
Look at him go.
Mornings work out okay.
All right, well, Heritage Cycle Podcast, over and out.
Buenos dias.
For your body. Nice sniff, guys.